Assalamu alaikum, my name is Rakan Kayali and welcome to Practical Islamic Finance. In this episode, I'd like to share with you a simple way of telling whether the payout arrangement for an investor is halal or haram. And that way is the following. You simply look at the payout. Is it stated in terms of the money that is invested? The money that the investor invests? Or is the payout stated in terms of the outcome of the investment? The latter is halal, the former is haram. So what are examples of this? Let's say you have investment A and investment B. Investment A is offering a 10% return on your investment. So what is the payout stated in terms of? It's stated in terms of your investment. A 10% return of your investment. There's been no reference here to the outcome of the investment. This is haram. On the other hand, you have investment B that is offering 10% of profits as a payout to the investor. Here, the payout is stated in terms of the outcome of the investment, profits. So this is a halal arrangement. Now, why is this? Why does Islam bother itself with whether or not the returns are independent of the outcome of the investment or not? Well, the reason is that when an investor's returns are not dependent on the outcome of the investment, then the investor has little incentive to care about the outcome of the investment. And this leads to a lot of problems. Look at 2008. What happened? In 2008, lenders lent their money to people who they knew had a high probability of default, but their return is not dependent on the outcome of the investment. Their return is fixed. And so they thought, you know what? Even if they do default, we'll take that person's house and we'll sell it in lieu of our right to our return. And because houses were appreciating in price historically for as long as people could remember, they thought for sure that if the borrower defaulted, they would still earn a profit because the house that they would seize would have appreciated in price and they would make their profit that way. So because mortgages offered the investors, the lenders, returns that were independent from the outcome of the investment, it allowed investors to invest their money in crummy investments that screwed over the borrowers and eventually screwed over the investors as well, albeit a lot less than how much the borrowers got screwed. So this is what Islam wants to avoid. By making the payout to the investor dependent on the outcome of the investment, Islam ensures that the well-being of the investee and the investor are always in the same boat. The investor can only do well if the investee is doing well. And if the investee doesn't do well, the investor feels it. This is how you create a system that isn't rife with fraud and scams. I can't tell you how much mail I get. Not just physical mail, text and voicemails, companies begging me to take out loans. And I'm sure a lot of the viewers are in the same position as I am. These companies don't care about the outcome of my borrowing money from them because I'm on the hook as soon as I borrow that money. Completely independent of how I spend that money or the outcome of investing whatever money I do borrow. They want their money back with increase. And if they don't get it, they'll try and get whatever asset they can that's under my name to make their profit. This is what Islam wants to avoid. Now, if we understand that Islam prohibits arrangements wherein the investor's payout is not dependent on the outcome of the investment, then we must conclude also that any investment that is offering fixed income in the future cannot be Islamic because the future cannot be guaranteed. And therefore, if you're offering fixed future income, that means that the payouts that the investor will receive are independent of the future outcome of their investments. Because if they were dependent on the outcome of the investment, the investor would not be offered fixed income in the future. They may be offered a fixed percentage of the profits, a fixed percentage of the income that is generated, a fixed percentage of the revenue that is generated, but not a fixed income, because that income is not guaranteed. It hasn't been earned yet. So if you want to rid your portfolio of things that are not halal, the first thing to do is to look at whether or not you have any fixed income products in it, and divest from any fixed income products that you may have. To say that something is a fixed income Islamic product is an oxymoron. There's no such thing. The most common fixed income financial product is a bond. So when you're reviewing your portfolio, make sure that there are no bonds in it. Bonds, for those who are not familiar, are essentially just an interest-bearing loan. And also check your 401k. Make sure that there's no bonds or fixed income financial products in your 401k, and divest from those products and reallocate your money somewhere else if you have that option with your 401k. So that's been this episode of Practical Islamic Finance. I hope you found it beneficial. If you'd like to support us, you can do so through our Patreon page, link in the description below. Until next time, take care of yourself. Assalamu alaikum and peace be upon you all.